Here's a good look at Howard's head coach Ty Grace in her 8th year. What a great job she has done. Larry Vickers on the other side of the ledger in his 8th year. MEAC Coach of the Year. We'll give you a good look at Larry coming up because we are underway, the MEAC Women's Tournament title game. And right away, in low, Wheeler not able to convert. Just kind of flung up there, and Wheeler again.
And that is going to be the key, something to keep an eye on. I was at Howard's shoot-around this morning. Coach Grace was talking about how they don't want to double her. They want to front, they want to have help side, but they don't want to have to double her. At this point, Norfolk State is almost daring them not to, going to her early.
You're looking at Howard's starting 5. Brooklyn Fort Davis is going to be really critical for this Bison club. Tied up, good hands inside. Ball still up for grabs. Boy, hot potato.
And great defense there by Camille Downs for Norfolk State, number 5 in white, the 2-time MEAC Defensive Player of the Year, sealed off that driving lane in that zone for the Spartans.
High-low not there for the Spartans.
And Norfolk State has to be careful not to force things into Wheeler. Let the offense come to her.
There's another look at Ty Grace, and there's Larry Vickers, MEAC Coach of the Year.
Perhaps the tallest coach in Division I women's hoops, I would say. I think he's about 6'9", former player at Norfolk State himself.
Coached on the men's side before he came over to the women's side, and I'll tell you, NSU fans are glad he did. Big triple from the outside. There's Howell.
The 3-ball is going to be a difference maker for Howard. They are by far the better three-point shooting team.
Drive and kick. One and done. Let's watch how these clubs crash the offensive boards as well, Kelly. They'll both try to get after every carom.
They will, and in the regular season, as we just mentioned, the team that won the rebounding battle won that game.
Howell again.
She's heating up.
Well,
She's
there's your MEAC Player of the Year, too, huh?
She is the key for Howard. She had 25 points in this championship game last year, was the reason that Howard pulled away, and she is feeling it early for the Bison.
The pick. Howard wants to run. Another outside offering, and this time it's Hudson. Now NSU settles into the half court. Air ball. Here's Howell. Number 1 scorer in the MEAC. Top field goal percentage shooter as well. And getting some help with Marsh. What a start for Howard. Moments ago, Kelly, the officials were looking at a monitor. I think there was some kind of a decision made if one of those Howard buckets was a 2 or a 3.
They were looking at the shot from Hudson, and if you've noticed, if you're watching this game with us here, we've got 4 3-point lines on this court. They went and reviewed it, which they can review any three-point shot during a timeout to see, and they determined that it was a 3-pointer. So I believe this score should be 11-2. But this is very difficult. As a former shooter, I can say, and to have 4 3-point lines. I don't know why we still have that purple line down there. There must be some G League action in this arena. That's why we have an NBA line. But the pink line is our college line, so keep an eye on that.
And you were quite the shooter for Clemson, you 3-point queen, you.
You know, we all have to have something we're good at. That was my main thing. That's how I was going to contribute. But I would not have liked to have 4 3-point lines.
I hear that. You're always looking down, aren't you?
Very confusing. At least these players, this is their 3rd game in this arena, so you're able to get used to it. But I still don't prefer it for these student athletes to have all those lines down there.
Score's been corrected, 11-2. Howard, good hands inside. Ball belongs to the Bison with 4 on the shot clock.
Try to draw a foul, perhaps. They got to be aware.
They're going to say that was off in time, that Harris gets another 3 for Howard.
And they will review that at the next break.
You've got to.
and the officials were giving that signal. But at least from our vantage point, I do think it was good. I think she got it off just in time. Woo. And it is absolutely raining threes here for Howard. Norfolk State has to score. They've got to do something here to stop this run for the Bison. The Bison are just feeling great at this point.
And Wheeler, who's averaging a double-double in this tournament, not able to get untracked as of yet.
No, she is not. And there's another look. That was definitely a three. And I do think it counts, but they'll take another look at that. And Howard's done a really good job. They're packing it in. They're trying to not let Norfolk State get the ball to Wheeler. But I think even more importantly, they're not letting Norfolk State get out in transition. And on the flip side, Howard's doing a better job of pushing the pace.
Just a great hustle play by Francis to deny Hudson at the rim. So the ball belongs to the Spartans, trailing 14-2 with 2:25 left to go in this first quarter. Ooh, a kind bounce for Fort Davis.
If I'm Howard, I am very aware that Kiara Wheeler just picked up a foul, trying to possibly do everything I can back on the other side once Howard goes back on offense to get Wheeler that second foul, because that could completely change the game.
Nothing there, but the offensive rebound safely into the hands of Norfolk State, and here come the Spartans. Inside look is true. Crystal White checking in for the Spartans. Inside look. Losing the handle. Switching hands. Pretty finish by Francis.
Impressive finish by Francis. Skying through the air, able to alter her body and get 2 more points for Norfolk State.
Shot clock off, game clock at 12 right now. Look out, you gotta hurry if you're Harris. There's the fling from Hudson. Just missing.
And they did not count the shot on the shot clock violation. So we've had multiple reviews here early. Every time we bring the viewers back, we have a different score. But now it's 13-9.
Okay, that's a big difference.
Seriously, massive difference. They didn't count that 3 ball. Takes away one of those threes. Howard still 3 for 7 from beyond the arc in this game in the first quarter.
Second quarter underway. Spartans have been playing catch-up since the very beginning. Francis, remember how acrobatically she gets to the cup. Drive, kick, White hits it, big stick.
Great pass by Francis, creating a wide open look for Crystal White. That's what you want against a zone.
Travel will go against Howard, and look at this. Spartans have a chance to take the lead. Got to close out on White. She's a good 3-point shooter for NSU. So here's a chance for the Spartans to take their first lead of the game. Oh, kind bounce. Diawara.
You'll take the roll if you're Diawara, and Howard can't complain about a kind bounce. They got that really nice bounce in the semifinals with that 3 ball.
First lead of the game for the Spartans, 15-13. Answer not there for Hudson. One and done. Francis will lead us up the court.
Every basketball coach loves to say this, but basketball is a game of runs, and I'm sure that's what Coach Vickers was telling his team in that huddle. Yes, we got off to a slow start, but it's just a matter of time before we make a run of our own. Are you kidding? A team that just frankly doesn't shoot it that well, but it's March. Anything can happen.
White scoreless in the semis. Well, she's helping her club today. There's the answer. And Howell says, shh, not so fast.
I love this, and both teams have come to shoot in this building, and that's what I want to see.
That's what you like, huh? No kidding. Good crowd on hand here at Scope Arena. Inside look and one. How about Diawara taking the punishment, and she'll go to the line.
Big offensive rebound for Diawara. Definitely took some contact on that play, went right to the ground. She looks up, she says, I'm all right, it's the championship game.
Good look at McCoy Diawara, the redshirt sophomore out of New Jersey. Three-point play, and NSU getting well in a hurry in the second quarter.
Norfolk State, what a second quarter run for them so far. And Howard came out, truly delivered that first punch, but the Spartans have punched back.
Player of the year, MEAC delivers. Inside look. Another foul. This time Downs hits the deck.
Was on the team last year that lost to Howard in this championship game, chose to come back for her COVID year. I'm sure it would mean quite a lot to number 5 in white to win this game.
Back and forth we go. Man, Kelly, like you said, you can only hope for a game like this. Another outside look is truly. Destiny Howell is having herself a half.
Goodness, both of these teams just lighting it up from beyond the arc. Howard's hit 5 threes, Norfolk State's hit 4 threes. I would never want to short her a 3, so I'm glad we updated that.
Aggressive take. Downs again.
Camille Downs saying, count that.
Keep in mind, Howell, with all those points, also has 2 fouls. Oh, she'll go to the line. Another dynamic bucket by the great Destiny Howell.
This is pretty good defense. You've got Camille Downs, the defensive player of the year. She's getting over that screen. She's trailing a little bit. She was going to be there to contest, but then you had help come up, and Howell draws the foul. So it's very difficult when you have a player like Howell who can shoot the 3 like she does. You have to go over the screen. But if you're Norfolk State, you realize that Howell has 18 points, and this game is still tied. So you feel pretty good about that.
There's the answer from Wheeler. She's been quiet. Maybe that'll get her going. 27-25. Spartans with the lead. We're getting late in this second quarter. 4 on the shot clock. Woo. Wow. Williams directing traffic. Another long ball.
Great rebound.
Boy, I'll say, Harris brings it out. Leads this club in assists. And the blocks and steals to boot. That is something to remember. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I got nothing. I got nothing, Kelly.
She has to touch it every single time down the floor. Unbelievable performance so far by the MEAC Player of the Year.
Don't be surprised. Howell's had a couple of 30-point games this season, so she's capable. Nice answer. Really nice answer by Williams.
But the flip side is Howell has 21 points, and Norfolk State's down 1. If you're Larry Vickers, you feel okay about that, because surely, is she going to end up with 42? You'll have to stick around after this halftime.
Howell not able to continue the magic, so that will do it. All right, third quarter moments from commencing. A rematch of last year's MEAC Championship game. Won by Howard. It was their first NCAA appearance since 2001. On the other side of the ledger, NSU is trying to go to the big dance for the first time since 2002. Just the storylines continue to pile up in this game.
And I thought what Charlie said at halftime was very interesting, because Norfolk State has done such good work this year, has 25 wins on the season. If they were to win this, there's no guarantee they're going to be in the first 4. They could get one of those bids without having to play in the first 4. But if Howard does win this, then they will be in the first 4. So that's something to keep a note of.
Good sportsmanship there. You know, you mentioned the 25 wins. That's most in program history for this Norfolk State team. That's impressive.
halftime can be a bummer if you're in rhythm, and I think both of these teams were really in rhythm, shooting the ball well, and then you got to go sit in the locker room for halftime.
Just to remind you, Howell with 21 points at halftime, including 5 triples. And if you're wondering, her career high is 35. In terms of trays made, 9 in a game.
9 is impressive.
Boy,
that is very impressive.
Shoot, I'll take the 5 she's got going right now. Ball up for grabs. Transfer out of Daytona State, JUCO. So as you mentioned, Kelly, her first year with this NSU program. Could have been another charge.
Still had her feet moving. You can have your feet moving if you obtain that legal guarding position before the other player.
Good look at Nia Fields, the sophomore out of New York. Makes 1 of 2, so 30 apiece. Dumping it inside. Fort Davis, nice footwork.
Fort Davis going right at Wheeler. Wheeler can't do much because she has those 3 fouls, just had to keep her hands straight up, and Fort Davis makes them pay.
Fort Davis, the hero in yesterday's semifinals. Ball tipped. Harris picks up her 2nd foul, so she joins a few others with some foul trouble. Howell and Harris now with 2 fouls apiece for Howard.
And now Wheeler on the bench. See when Vickers brings her back in, but credit to Wheeler. She picked up that 3rd foul and then was able to stay out there without getting another one.
Tough shot that time for Howell on the fadeaway. Nothing doing, and here comes Norfolk State.
Spartans doing a much better job on Howell so far in this 3rd quarter. I believe that was just her first field goal attempt of the 2nd half. Just trying to keep the ball out of her hands.
Williams cut off at the baseline. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Aggressive take by Diawara.
I like Diawara's game. She is fun to watch. She's super active. She's aggressive inside. Really good defender as well.
It's the first time the same 2 programs have met in both the MEAC men's and women's tournament title games ever. Turnover, and SU wants to push. Treble, Downs walk.
For all the 3-pointers we had in that first half, and we had 11. Teams are combined to 0 for 5 from 3 in this 3rd quarter.
Well, that changed things a little bit, huh?
On cue.
Yeah, the girl, Nia Cooper.
I'm just trying to speak 3s into existence.
Separation. Francis Short. Follow up. Oh, you know Robinson wanted an and 1, but she'll go to the line. Redshirt freshman is Robinson, the transfer out of VCU. Marsh, by the way, picks up her 2nd. The lefty is true. One of 2, 35-34. The teams combining for 10 points, 5 apiece in this low-scoring 3rd quarter. No separation at this point.
Dusty Howell chatting with the officials about this one, and she stepped right into that screen. I think that's a good call. You have to be set when you're setting that screen, and she was a little late to set it.
Boy, I really like that move right there by Robinson. She not only avoids getting picked, but she scores.
Robinson giving them some good minutes.
Spartans by a singleton. Less than a minute to go in the 3rd. Howell has been scoreless in the 3rd quarter after 21 in the opening half.
And give a lot of credit to Norfolk State. They've done a great job on Howell. As Coach Vickers told us after halftime, it's got to be anybody but her. We've got to make her shoot some layups, not some 3s, and their defense has been really good on her in this 3rd quarter.
Downs just kind of chucks it. Francis to the rim. Francis scores.
Francis has had a few of those just acrobatic plays, and now Norfolk State setting up their pressure, because you can set up your press off of a mate.
Wow, critical time right now for both clubs. And now if you're Howard, you got to say, we got to play some D.
And those turnovers, Howard, 5 turnovers in the last 6 minutes or so. It's been costly.
All right, so shot clock off, game clock at 10 right now. Ooh, how about that, Nia Fields? Kelly, that means lots at stake when you talk about tournament championship games.
So much at stake for both of these programs. Howard trying to go back-to-back here in the MEAC, and Norfolk State trying to win this tournament for the first time since 2002. I'm not sure how many of these Norfolk State players were born in 2002, Ann. That's how long it's been.
I know I was. Fourth quarter underway. Fearless is Deja Francis.
And Wheeler not on the floor for Norfolk State with those 3 fouls. This will be an interesting chess match between Vickers and Grace. Who puts that player in first? And how much do we see of those players early in this fourth quarter?
Francis, first team all-conference, has had a great season, not only in double-figure scoring, but also second in the conference in assists, third in steals. Just an all-around game. She misses both. Look at that, picking the pocket and scoring is Downs.
Downs is such a smart and crafty defender. 2-time MEAC Defensive Player of the Year, showing why right there.
Biggest lead of the game right now for Norfolk State.
Vickers just sent Wheeler to the table, and Grace is sending Howell to the table at the same time.
I love what you brought up about the chess match. It comes down to that. Wild shot. Not even close for Cooper.
Camille Downs getting it done. Offensive rebound / steal. You could characterize that as many different things on the box score.
Wheeler on the floor, as you mentioned, and the travel's going to go against Williams. All right, so we're going to go the other way. Remember, Howard had the big lead in that impressive start in the first quarter. All the way to the rack and easy pickings. We talked about the defense, and that's what NSU hangs its hat on. Extra pass, Williams. And Wheeler follows with the garbage.
And that's how Wheeler can be a difference maker. She's had a little more of a quiet game compared to the first 2 games in the MEAC tournament. But that was a huge offensive rebound and bucket for Wheeler.
So the lead extends for NSU. Kick inside. Nicely played by Marsh, who draws that foul.
They have held Howard at this point to just 7 points in the second half. That's really been the difference maker.
Marsh only a 42% free throw shooter, airballs that. Yes, the scoring for Howard non-existent at this point. Wow. Ball up for grabs. Ripping down the board there is Fort Davis. 45-37. Howard's offense has gone into the deep freeze. So a jump ball.
Good defense by Camille Downs. Another great defensive play by her. And
boy, she's something.
She is. And still, Howell not really able to touch the rock on the offensive side. Good job by Norfolk State.
The pick. All the way to the rack and the finish. Francis. But I'm telling you, that's Fields with the pick from behind that got that thing started.
Norfolk State is great when they can get out in transition, turn their defense into offense. Now with a 10-point lead. So Coach Vickers told us, he said it's really about our defense in the second half. They've held Howard, as you can see here, to just 7 points in the second half of play.
That is absolutely incredible. after what Howard was able to do in that first half, led by Howell. Look at the blocking side by Wheeler.
Wheeler's done a good job of playing with those 3 fouls. She picked up that 3rd foul early in the 3rd quarter, but yes, Vickers sat her for a little bit, but still, she has been able to be effective.
Ball up for grabs, into the hands of Francis, 10 on the shot clock.
They've had a few times where they haven't realized the shot clock. Let's see if they're aware.
Turnover, Wheeler. The ball belongs to Howard, and they got to make some. The first 2 times these teams met, Kelly, this was back in mid-January. Howard was held to 37 points in an absolute, well, that helps a ton.
Yes, that's what they needed right there.
Yeah, big time. So what I was going to say was Howard had one of its most frustrating games offensively in game 1 in that loss against NSU. That 3 at least gets him thinking, hey, we're still in this thing.
Exactly, and in that lopsided loss, they were also out-rebounded by 25. And that's been a similar story here. Norfolk State's plus 12 on the glass. The rebounding for the Spartans has been key.
Harris has been an absolute beast on the board. Ooh. Flying into the cheerleaders is Harris. So we'll see. We're looking at perhaps a technical foul against NSU. We'll get that confirmed. We're going to get everything straightened out as the officiating crew huddles to talk.
Spartan foul. Result number 5, kneel down. That is a student personal foul. Technical foul, also called on.
All right, so Downs fouls out on the play, and Downs is also nicked for the technical foul. That could be mighty big with this game in the balance.
I don't know if she said something to the official or not after she picked up that foul, but it seems to be the case, and that leads to a technical foul.
So here's Harris. Free throws have not been kind to this Howard team.
So she did say something to the official, and whatever it was, the official moved to tee her up pretty quickly.
Harris makes one of 2, 47-41. Possession Howard, tons of time left.
Possession Howard, Camille Downs, best defender in the MEAC, now on the bench for Norfolk State. And because it was a foul in the act of shooting, you send Howell to the line. And this is big because finally Howell gets to see the ball go through the net in this second half. So this could get her going. This could be a game changer for Howell.
Cooper checks in for Howard. White back on the floor for NSU. 4-point lead for the Spartans. Harris barking orders. Turning around, rimming out. Tough luck there for Howell. Woo. Jump ball, possession arrow favoring NSU. 47-43 for the Spartans. Wheeler wants it inside. 8 on the shot clock. Dumps it.
Good pass.
Great pass.
Good pass, but even better play by Marsh.
Yeah, you're right.
Get her hand on that ball. I thought that was going to be a 2. No problem for Diawara, but Marsh made a really good play. You can see Marsh comes over to help, but then she's able to recover. Gets her hand on the ball.
And just seconds ago, huge 3 for Diawara. They're going to give her a 2.
They'll take a look at that as well, which I'm sure will factor into this.
Step back.
That's a force. That's a force from Howell. Not necessarily the shot you want right now if you're Howard.
2:15 left to go. Francis, smart, and she'll bring it out. The time is on NSU's side. The clock favoring the Spartans. But you still want to execute, Kelly. On the roll, nothing there for Wheeler. She wants it down low. 6 on the shot clock. Travel against Francis. That's a break for Howard.
Take another look at that Diawara shot. That's definitely a 2. Good job by the officials to recognize that in the moment. Again, of those 4 3-point lines we have, the pink one is the collegiate line.
It's like at this point there's 8 of them.
It keeps expanding.
Yes.
They add one every quarter.
All right, Howard, what do you got? $1:45 left in the fourth. Bison need a bucket, and there's the foul. That's going to go against Fields. That's her third. And free throws are coming for Howard. So Hudson, the transfer from ODU, good free throw shooter, gets the first one home.
And this is how you put pressure on Norfolk State. You make your free throws, and then you can set up your press, try to force some turnovers.
Makes them both critical. That was a huge offensive rebound inside for NSU. 7 on the shot clock. There's the drive and kick. Wheeler's got to put something up. All right. Under a minute to go. Howard needs some magic. Whistle away from the ball. So Francis picks up her second, and here's Howell. Makes the first. Remember, 21 points for Howell in the first half alone, 5 triples. And as Kelly just said, just free throws. But at this point, hey, are you kidding? They're gold. Ball belongs to Norfolk State. It's a big miss.
A rare miss, too.
Right now, this game is still definitely in the balance.
Harris has to be careful here. They had one foul to give.
Let's get this thing inbounded. Nia Fields. Here's Francis. And you know Hudson is going to say, Francis, if you're going to beat us, do it from the charity line. But this is a good free throw shooting player.
I'm not sure why Howard is choosing to foul at this point. You're down 1 possession. You had enough time split between game and shot clock. I would have played that out.
Francis missed the first one. She's a 75% free throw shooter. Leads the club in makes and takes. This one is huge. Can't get it down. All right, here we go. Harris backs it out. You don't want to use too much time if you're Howard. There's the pick from Howell. There's the roll. Now Howell with the 3. Wow, Howell had a shot that she wanted. Air ball.
That's another great play call, though, by Coach Grace.
All right, so NSU will inbound in front of their own bench. 21.2 left in this game. The lead is 3 for the Spartans. They inbound it successfully.
Norfolk State, a team that is just 6 for 13 from the free throw line today.
Fields is 1 for 2 from the charity stripe. Heading into these tosses as Wheeler checks back in, and that's mighty, mighty big for Norfolk State. Gets them both clutch. So Harris will inbound. Oh, just throws up the, oh! Wow, what did we just see?
What? Oh my goodness.
What a way to get back into the scoring column via a bucket.
This is unbelievable. You cannot foul here. You cannot foul the three-point shooter, and I think that was a foul. I think that was a good call. And Destiny Howell, who airballed the 3 on the previous shot, has supreme confidence in herself to take that and knock it down through the contact. You just can't foul on that shot. You've got to, once you go for the, first of all, you can't go for that steal. You've got to stay back. You can't go for that steal.
So Fields with the foul, and Howell misses her 3rd straight free throw. Wow, this game has just been nutty.
Madness. It's been madness. This is what we expect. She has been calm, cool, and collected from the free throw line, and she knows, you can see on her face, she is kicking herself for that foul, but if she makes these free throws, she can definitely make up for it.
She's been terrific from the free throw line, Fields.
Does Howell have some more magic left in her? Or does Howard in general?
You gotta hurry. Howell knows she's gotta put it up. Howell! Oh my goodness! Destiny Howell does it again!
What is happening?
You gotta foul!
What is happening?
53-52, the lead down to 1 as Howell with more heroics.
Oh my goodness. They run a flare screen here. One dribble. That is such a difficult shot. And Howell makes it in front of her own bench.
And man, that's contested. That is contested.
Unbelievable. Of course, you don't want to let her catch it, but she caught it, and you're still right in her face, and she knocks it down.
No timeouts left for Howard. That's critical if Fields is able to continue her mastery at the free throw line. Man, tip your cap to Nia Fields.
It's just deja vu on both sides. Howell makes a three, Fields makes free throws.
Missed that one. You gotta hurry. No timeouts. And the travel is gonna go against Howard with less than a second left.
Great defense by Norfolk State to make it very difficult on Harris. They picked up with that ball pressure, and Harris doesn't have much of a choice. There was 1 second left. She had to try to make something happen.
So Harris quickly commits the foul. The crowd is into it, poised to return to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2002.
And because Howard doesn't have a timeout left, even without these free throws, the game is effectively over. This game,
wow. Oof. You know, just when you thought Howell was just going to quick chin to chest, it's just one of those halves. She single-handedly willed Howard back into this thing, and that'll do it.
And Fields' free throws single-handedly helped Norfolk State win this game.
Let the celebration begin for the Spartans.